Warning, if you've just woken up, come back to this video later. I'm going to open your mind. You know it's serious when I have a pen in my hand. So a couple of nights ago I get a message from Noah Joe and he says to me, can you make more theory videos, or failing that, your most preferred or most probable character roster speculations for this Mortal Kombat game? So I figure, why not make both? So here we go. Last night saw me inspired to watch MK9 story mode to get me up to speed and to make notes worthy of this video. Hence the pen. Now firstly I'm going to leave out the returning characters that we already know about, so that's Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Kano and Raiden. I'm going to leave those out for the time being. And to address any possible returning characters, we're going to talk about Mortal Kombat 9 story. So where do I start? Let's talk about the characters that are pretty much safe bets to make their return. Before I do though, please keep in mind that these characters are based on popularity, logic and relevance to the story. This isn't in no way my preferred list of characters that I'd like to see back. Also keep in mind that the following list is first and foremost based on appearances rather than fully playable. I'll delve into possible playable characters then and there and summarise near the end of this video. So, who survived MK9? This is where the pen came in handy. Cyrax, Sector, Baraka, Melina, Quan Chi, Raiden, Johnny Cage, Sonya Blade, Scorpion, Reptile, Shiva, Goro and Kintaro. Now when I made that list up, I actually got myself quite surprised by that. I hadn't fully realised until making this list that actually quite a few characters did make it out alive. So who may have survived? Noob Saibot and Shang Tsung. Now a lot of you have agreed with me that Noob Saibot may indeed be this Sub-Zero, and I'll get into Shang Tsung's possible survival in due time. Everyone else died either in the tournament, by Sindel's hand, or by Raiden. Murderous bastard. And if I've missed anyone out here guys, please let it be known in the comments below, I will appreciate that. So in terms of returning characters who are making an appearance this game, we have Sonya Blade and Johnny Cage. Now I'm going to stick with these guys for just a bit. It's been confirmed by Ed Boon that we will see Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade older and more mature in the story mode for Mortal Kombat X. So these two are definitely a given. But will they be playable? I'm saying no. Now I've been searching around YouTube and so forth, and I've been looking at these videos, and one that I've come across has actually said that they will be making a return. But this does come from a kind of unreliable source. Have you ever seen these videos on YouTube and instantly feel that these guys are lying or unreliable? That's what I got from this particular video. It felt like one of those videos that just scam you to get more views and likes, you know? He was basically saying that his German friend was translating this article or something, and that he saw that Sonya Blade, Johnny Cage, and actually Liu Kang as well were making a return. He was giving the impression at the beginning of the video that this was all fact, and near the end of the video, it was kind of waning. So I've got two theories for you guys that may support against this. The first theory is quite simple. If this actually happened, this would be a huge waste of character slots. Now I love Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade as characters, but for this game, with the addition of Cassie Cage as their daughter, with their movesets, it just cannot happen. The second theory is one that a lot of you may not have thought about. Before I get into this, let me just run back a little bit here. It's no surprise that Mortal Kombat doesn't take morals to heart. Give the players two characters who are related by blood and pit them against each other to the death. But these characters have always been known to not have the same ideals as one another, or in other words, hate each other. A few examples of this: Kuala Yang and Bihan, Kitana and Melina, Kitana and Sindel. As far as we know, Cassie Cage and her parents get along just fine. So to put Cassie Cage in a position where she could put two bullets in her parents' kneecaps and then one in their head, I don't think that's going to happen.
Bullet to kneecaps, to the heads. This isn't going to end well. Bubblegum? What? Wow, that's, yeah.
I love Ed Boon's evil laugh in that clip. But do you get me, bruvs? Mortal Kombat doesn't shy away from a lot of things, but to do that to her parents, I'm going to say no. So I'm ruling out Sonya Blade and Johnny Cage being playable characters in Mortal Kombat X. So moving on from that, who do I think is going to be coming back from Mortal Kombat 9 story into this game as well? Again, remember to keep in mind who's actually made it out alive from Mortal Kombat 9 story. The first character I'd like to put forth is Ermac. He's alive, he's popular with the fans, he's an evil son of a bitch, and he could be used to put forth a purpose towards Shinnok and Quan Chi's desires. My next safe bet has got to be Reptile. With Shao Kahn and Shang Tsung out of the picture, Reptile is now free to do as he likes. Of course, unless that he's been picked up by Shinnok and Quan Chi. Remember that in Mortal Kombat 4, Reptile served Shinnok and Quan Chi so that he could go back to his home world before it was destroyed at the hands of Shao Kahn. Next up, it's got to be Mileena. I'll save my reasonings for Mileena later on in this video. Next, Ketchup and Mustard themselves, Cyrax and Sector. I think these two, apart from being popular with the fans of course, have a lot going to offer for the story mode for this Mortal Kombat game. Now let's talk about Baraka. Baraka is another fan favourite and also one of my personal favourites also. Baraka's loyalties were always towards the Emperor Shao Kahn, and now that he's dead, it would be interesting to see where Baraka is in the story now. Now it would be foolish not to include Goro and Kentaro for this Mortal Kombat game story mode. I don't think that these guys will be playable, but again I'll get into playable characters later, but in terms of story it'd be interesting to see where they are now. My best guess is that we'll be seeing these guys in the story mode, but only for a brief period of time. And add Shiva to that as well actually. Shiva has never really been the most popular character in the Mortal Kombat universe, but if she's alive I have no doubt that we'll also be seeing her in the story mode. And lastly, the two that we already know who are appearing in this game, Shinnok and Quan Chi themselves. Excuse me for just a moment. It's hard work having theories, guys. But anyway, in terms of the returning characters, which of these do I think are going to be coming back as playable characters? If it's a safe bet, I'm going with these four. Ermac, Reptile, Mileena and Quan Chi. Now keep in mind, this is my safe bet, this is my theory, this is my own opinion, so I don't want to hear any of this. The fuck is Baraka, G? Or anything like this. But I like Shiva, I'm gonna thumbs down this guy. You know, just because I have theories or ideas doesn't make me right. I'm just giving you guys my foresight, that's all. So to summarize, so far I've got these 8 characters. Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Raiden, Kano, Ermac, Reptile, Mileena and Quan Chi. Now the following characters are what I consider to be probably coming back. Cyrax, Sector and Baraka. Yeah, that's more like it, G. Some people just like to be led. And this brings my list up to 11 characters returning. Now you'll notice on the character select screen that there are a certain number of character slots available. But I never tend to follow this because at the end of the day, this is still an early build and they're going to have more characters. I mean, let's face it. I mean, they said that it was going to be comparable to Mortal Kombat 9's character roster, if not even more so. So just keep that in mind, guys. You know, there's always room for more characters to come in, which leads me to this. Returning characters from another Mortal Kombat game. Now, the following list of characters aren't what I would call safe bets, but rather characters that I feel would make a good comeback. Tanya, Reiko and Kai. Now I've chosen Kai simply for the fact that he would be a great addition to fill in Liu Kang's dead shoes. I've also chosen Tanya for more or less the same reason, to fill in the shoes of Kitana and Jade. And Reiko, I'll get into that in a very short while. But there's still one more character from Mortal Kombat 4 that I haven't mentioned yet. I would quite happily take a bet that Fujin will make it into this Mortal Kombat game. And I'll tell you my decision for Fujin's appearance in about a minute from now. So let's move on from characters now and talk about possible narratives for Mortal Kombat X. So where do we stand for Mortal Kombat 9? So with Shao Kahn's demise, it's now revealed that Shinnok and Quan Chi plan to take over Outworld and Earthrealm. My theory is that for the remainder of the story mode in Mortal Kombat X, these two will remain in the shadows. I also believe that there is going to be a huge battle for Outworld's claim, and this will mainly be between 3 of the characters, and that's Kotal Kahn, Mileena, I told you I'd get back to her, and Reiko as well. We all know what Mileena is like. With her mindset, she is the rightful heir of, I was about to say Kotal Kahn then, Shao Kahn. Shao Kahn. This also leads me to theorize that Mileena will be one of the bosses in Mortal Kombat X. I don't know how it's going to happen. Again, just a gut feeling I have. I also think it's possible that we may see the return of Liu Kang himself, but not as a zombie. I feel that there's a bit of a loophole here. Because Liu Kang was killed at Raiden's hands, this will allow Raiden to sacrifice himself in some way, shape or form. I don't know how, I'm just theorizing once again, and this will allow Fujin to take Raiden's place. I also theorize that by the end of Mortal Kombat X's story mode, we'll all be witnesses to a free Outworld. I have my reasons for this. I mean, look at the Outworld Marketplace stage, or even the Jungle stage as well. They're more vibrant, they're more colourful, they've got more life in them. Not only that, but basically the whole purpose of this new Mortal Kombat game is to introduce new elements. And going back to one of my previous videos as well, this is also one of the reasons why I feel that Scorpion and Sub-Zero will have closure by killing Quan Chi. Because at some point or another, you can't keep rehashing the same storyline over and over again. These guys need to have closure, and it's going to be interesting for us to see Scorpion and Sub-Zero team up. Am I right? If you keep repeating the same storyline over and over again, it's going to get dull. Things need to change, and I believe that is what NetherRealm Studios are trying to do in this game. Now, I also mentioned a possible return for Shang Tsung as well, so let me get into that. Shang Tsung's power was put into Sindel via the evil Emperor Shao Kahn. And with Sindel's defeat, it's quite possible that Shang Tsung's power seeped out of her, and so he can become one again. So Shang Tsung's return is quite possible in my eyes. What will his role be in the story? Perhaps he's one of the guys trying to take out Ward for himself. And lastly, I'd like to reaffirm what I said about Cassie Cage's character and where I see her in the story arc. Being that Mortal Kombat X's story will take place 25 years ahead of Mortal Kombat 9's, I still feel that it's quite possible that Cassie Cage will be the main character for Mortal Kombat X. Think about this, she's going to be roughly the same age as the time span for Mortal Kombat X's story mode. We're going to see her grow and develop. Don't take that in the wrong way, and sorry, but you know where I'm going with this, guys. I think it makes sense, and I think a lot of you can agree with me on this. So to once again reaffirm my characters who I feel will be making a return to this game: Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Raiden, Kano, Ermac, Reptile, Mileena, Quan Chi, Cyrax, Sector, Baraka, Tanya, Kai, Reiko, and Fujin. So that about wraps it up for me, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you for sticking around if you have. I put a lot of thought, work and effort into this one, guys. I'm about to lose my voice any second now. Show me your love, guys. Give this video a thumbs up, share the video, tell all your friends, make this channel known. Once again, this was at the request from one of my subscribers, Noah Joe. I hope you've enjoyed this video, buddy. I do this for you guys, and you guys alone. Seriously, I mean, without you guys, I wouldn't really be here. If any of you have any suggestions, things you'd like to see me cover for Mortal Kombat X or anything else, please let me know in the comments below. You know, it's nearly bedtime for me. I've got work early in the morning tomorrow, so I'm going to upload this clip, go to bed, conk out, and dream about boobs. See, I'm that tired, I'm talking bollocks. Keep it tight, guys.